Want your room to look bigger? You are in the right place. In this video, I'll show you 10 hacks to creating the impression of more space. So let's jump straight into the video. The right colors will make a small room appear larger. So for optimum effect, I would recommend going for soft and light colors such as white, cream, beige, and pastel colors such as light blue or green shades. These colors will make the rooms feel bigger, airier, and brighter. Also, I recommend using a neutral color scheme. These are colors in the same family. So, when you are designing a small room, try to ensure all tones stick to the same color palette, thus creating flow throughout the room. A tone-on-tone combination will result in subtle elegance. But, what do I mean by tone? This is generally considered to be lighter and darker variations on a single color. Therefore, when I say create a tone-on-tone of tonal scheme, it simply means working with a hue you like, then manipulating that color through shades, textures, fabrics, and tints to create interest and variety. When it comes to colors, my #1 rule is to go for a tonal look. This means choosing 3 shades of the same color on walls, furniture, and decor. This will give your small room variation while remaining visually cohesive. But if this feels complicated, I understand. Worry not. I will show you other ways to play with colors. For example, going for an all-white look. This is one of the easiest ways to make the appearance of more space. That's because white adds light, white reflects light, which does help make the space feel much more light and airy. And if you are going for a clean and modern effect for your room, then all white will achieve this effortlessly. But if you're not a fan of white, worry not. You can go for the following colors. 1 is a light beige or a pale shade of taupe paint. This color will also reflect rather than absorb light, thus helping to make the room feel bigger. 2 is going monochrome. By this I mean going for 1 color or limiting the number of colors in your room to a maximum of 2. That's because using so many different colors in a small room will make it look smaller because the room will look divided. A good example of this can be committing to black and white. That's because a black and white palette works in any size space, and I love it mostly because it can give a small living room a polished, pulled together feel that takes the focus off of size. That said, I highly recommend you try to coordinate wall and furniture colors. That's because if you don't coordinate and end up with contrasting color, then this may end up making the room appear smaller than it actually is, because it tends to break up a space. Therefore, try to match pieces of furniture to the wall color. It will blend with the space, giving the illusion of a larger room. And if it's an all-white room, then accent it with natural wood and woven materials to complement the room. I recommend you use a few large pieces of furniture in a small room, or opt for a large anchor piece like a sectional sofa and keep extra seating to a minimum, instead of going for several smaller pieces of furniture, because this will make a small space look cluttered. Why? When furniture and accessories block the view into a room, it will look cramped. Also, why not go for a low sofa? This would be a good choice because the visual impact of a low sofa and other furniture will help make the ceiling of the small space look much higher, thus creating a more open feel. And before I forget, going for a coffee table with slender legs will allow light to flow through and help create a sense of airiness. For example, you can choose low-profile pieces of furniture like an armless open chair, or use multi-purpose furniture to save space. Some other examples of multi-purpose furniture include folding wall table, a small desk that transforms into a long table, a coffee table that enlarges for dining, a desk that folds into a bed, and a fully functioning kitchen that conveniently folds into a stylish-looking box. If you would like to check out these furniture ideas, I have pinned a link on the comment section where you will find all these multi-purpose or transformable furniture. I recommend sheer fabrics because they allow light to pass through the window. This helps make the small room look bigger because you get to optimize natural light, thus making a smaller room look a whole lot bigger when flooded with natural light. Mirrors do a good job of making a room appear larger. For example, you can use a large framed mirror on a wall to give the small room a room enlarging effect, or top a coffee table or side table with a piece of beveled plate mirror, or a mirrored chest of drawers will also achieve a similar effect. Mirrors work well to make the small room appear larger because the room and light will be reflected, resulting in a more open feeling. When it comes to hanging mirrors, do it strategically. Well, placing a mirror on a wall doubles the space visually, but if you hang the mirror opposite a window, it will reflect and bounce around natural light, making the room feel more expansive. You can also lean a large decorative floor mirror against the wall of a small living room, and it will reflect the rest of the room, visually doubling its size. Another strategic way to use mirrors to decorate a small living room is by incorporating mirrored furniture pieces that reflect views, expand sightlines, and bounce light around. Did you know transparent materials will make any room feel larger? Well, now you know. A good example of this is choosing glass or lucite for tabletops and an acrylic console table because they will practically disappear in a small entryway or living room. Also, a dining or coffee table with a glass top and a sturdy base of wood or metal will make the room feel lighter. Did you know putting the right wall art can add visual interest to a small space? For example, hanging artwork directly above your sofa rather than all around the room will add visual interest while keeping visual clutter to a minimum. Also, you can add statement art to create the impression of more space. To do this, you need to add a big wall art to your small room or apartment, and it immediately amplifies the room's dimensions, making the space appear larger than it is. Remember my #1 rule? Try and optimize a small space by using fewer but larger design elements. But what I love most about adding a large wall art is the fact that it makes it the focal point or centerpiece of your space, thus making a bold style statement that is hard to miss. You'll be surprised that this also helps create the right impression by making you appear more confident to visitors as they get a sense of who you are. Wall sconces are a great way to add mood lighting without taking up floor space. It immediately gives the room a cozy look. Just be sure to choose the right type and design that will look good in a small room. That's it. If you made it to the end, I'm glad. And I know your willingness to learn will transform your home and life in general. Thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more videos.